Hello everyone and welcome back. Today is a mix update for Project Ichor. We are going to be talking about the species and races over here. I keep forgetting which side it's on. And we will also be going over classes, specialties, and a few key important resources for classes that are casters and even half casters. So, for starters, Beast Folk got a bit of a change, bit more of an update, I would say. I'm not too sure if this is a rework or kind of messes things up, like my hair. But anyways, Beast Folk now have races instead of it just being Beast Folk. So now there's the Yeekgog, which are kind of like bear, honey badger, badger bears kind of thing. There's Vixovies, which are foxes and fox-like creatures. There are Sinbei, which are elk slash deer, doe kind of creatures. Ainudi, which are dogs, wolves. I'm not too sure if I'm going to separate the two. Maybe have one that's like wolf-like and the other kind of dog-like. There's Hamagan, which are warthogs, pigs, that sort of thing, which I like that. I honestly like that kind of race. That name is really, really cool. And then there's Katirmu, which are cats, cat-like creatures. So if you want it to be like a tiger, a lion, or just a simple house cat, something like that, go for it. And we are kind of working slowly on their characteristics. I was also thinking of, for species that have races, they should have 3 characteristics for the species in general, and then 2 or maybe just 1 characteristics for the race. I'm not too sure yet. Comment down below what you think about that. Maybe just keep it 2 for each race, and then 3 or 4 characteristics for a species in general. I'm kind of leaning towards 3 for the species and then 2 for races for now. I'm not too sure yet. So again, comment down below what you have on that. Dracos, we are thinking of changing the name. The reason for that is because dragons aren't going to be in this game. They're going to be dragon slash lizard, reptilian, kind of creatures similar to that, but they're not going to be outright dragons. And the reason for that is because I want to come up with my own creatures that have the same pizzazz and feel and awe and shock as dragons do. So that means that Drekken, the language of dragons and Dracos in general, that will be changed as well. So really, really excited about that. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be really, really cool. Dwarves are going to stay the same. Echidnos are going to stay same. Elves, fairies. So Fae, so the language and also the type, the creature kind, that is going to change as well. Because in this game, there is no Feywild, there's no Fae or anything like that. There's going to be something similar to it, but kind of acts differently because of the way that worlds and realms act differently in this game than it does to D&D, Pathfinder, and other TTRPGs, where you have planes. In this game, there are things called realms, so they act more like the 9 realms in Norse mythology, with a little bit of multiverse versus planes that are in other TTRPGs. Hopefully that makes sense. So definitely going to be changing that, as well as for not just for fairies but pixies, anything that typically comes from like a Feywild. That's not gonna be in this game. We're doing our own thing for that. Forgrim are gonna stay the same because I love them. They're really, really cool. I was thinking about it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna give them something else in addition to things, but for now I like them as is. Gargoyles I love. Humans, they're gonna stay the same. Merfolk are their their kind of identity is going to change. The reason why is because this word, Oceana, sounds a lot like Oceania. And originally that was intended because there is going to be an Oceania module, but I might change it. I'm not too sure yet. Um, I'm totally fine with leaving it as is, but I am not opposed to anyone that has feedback on changing it um, in any shape or form. So let me know down in the comment section what you think about that. I'm totally fine keeping it as is, but I was kind of thinking of changing it if people want to change it. So far, everything else is good for Ogren, Orcs, Pixies. What was the other one? Was that, or, yep, that was all of them. And then now, when we go to classes, the Ascendant. So, certain casters are going to have a resource for their spell casting. So, we go to the spell book, or the magic book in general. You could see here that we have spellcasting resources. Originally, this section was just labeled mana points. We're changing that. We're even changing the name mana points to something else, and that is Alercine. So as you can see right here, this is what's taking place of mana points. Now, don't fret. It still works the same way as mana points do. We're now just adding on to spellcasting resources because mana points was the spellcasting resource. We're now being more open and diverse when it comes to that sort of thing to fit the theme and the style of each caster. So that is the objective. That is what I'm hoping to complete and to accomplish in a fun and creative way. Another thing to notice is the Hosai. So while trying to record this video several times, a thought popped into my head about getting rid of the Hosai. And the Hosai, as of right now, is the only healing, cleansing, buffing class in the game. It is the only one. The only one that kind of comes close to it is the Ascendant, and the Ascendant only cleanses and buffs parties. I'm totally fine with giving healing and buffing, cleansing and debuffing abilities to every class, and then scrapping the Hosai with some of its abilities going into the ability section for players to pick and choose. The reason for this is because I realized that when you have a dedicated caster that heals people and does a bunch of cool support stuff, that it might as well completely negate the resource management of buying health potions, buying bandages, buying healing kits, and all that kind of stuff. It will somewhat deteriorate the meaning and value of that system. Now, I do understand that not everyone is going to pick the Hosai because of people's different kind of play styles. Some parties might go 2 barbarians and 3 sorcerers. That's freaking wild and cool. At which point they might have to be very careful on how they go about combat, dungeons, traps, and all that kind of stuff. So they might have to go to shops, buy their gear, and then go out and adventure. That is totally valid, and I totally hear that. However, for the majority of players, I feel like they might pick the Hosai because it'll scratch the itch of playing as a cleric. for some weird reason. Now, then again, the Ascendant, the purpose of the Ascendant was to kind of combine the power level, like the power scaling and the ultimate, like, raw power of a cleric, and combine it with a paladin, and then bring in some soul sorcery. That's what it was. Um, and then the Hosai was just going to be your dedicated pocket mercy buffer medic from Team Fortress. That's what the Hosai is. Um, but as of now, I feel like the Hosai might put more of an obstacle than anything else. So I would love to hear your feedback, especially for this particular, I don't want to say dilemma, but this maybe predicament, more like a pickle, if anything. Um, because I want to keep it, but at the same time, I'm not too attached. So basically, I'm totally fine with scrapping the Hosai or keeping it, either or. I'm totally fine with whatever. But I want to hear from you. So let me know down in the comment section what you think, your thoughts, your opinions. It doesn't have to be about the caster. It could be about any part that we mentioned in this video. And with that, I'm going to let you all go. Until next time, the next video is going to be coming back to the spell system of Project Ichor, giving more in-depth updates and stuff, and maybe even creating some spells with you. So, Vara Viking, Skål!